thanks, Zach. Pat Hannigan, Senior Account Executive, obviously with Evolve IP and ATSG, covering your region, right? So working not only with you all as the channel partners, but also kind of working with the end users and directly selling those deals. So great to see a lot of familiar faces and also some new ones that I haven't yet met. So I'll look forward to following up with you all after this.
And I'm Donnie Maizumi. I'm the Senior Vice President for our channel and OEM sales. So again, look forward to meeting you personally, but nice to meet you virtually. Thank you for taking the time to join the call today.
And just to round it all out, thanks everybody for joining. This is Gary Coben. I'm the channel chief, and thank you all for taking the time to attend this. Zach, back to you.
All right, Pat, you're up.
Yeah, perfect. So appreciate everybody jumping on. And again, what I found interesting and what I love about this for you all is that the Evolve IP story kind of has always revolved around land and expand, right? And so I think of somebody like a Telnet. I saw Ashley out there. We would always start with a voice deal, and automatically, kind of before that voice deal was ever even done, we're adding DAS and we're adding infrastructure as a service. The merger with ATSG kind of opens up our ability to expand far beyond kind of what we were initially doing. And so what I love about that for you all as partners is that you now add things like managed network services, and Don's going to get into this, but managed network services from a Gartner Magic Quadrant leader, right? Manage operations. I bet there's somebody on this call who has asked me about, can I do managed help desk? That answer was always no before with just Evolve IP. That answer is not only yes now, but yes, how do you want to do it? Do you want to do on-site services? Do you want to do remote services? So our ability now to take your customers when you come to the combined companies of ATSG and Evolve IP is to let's start with an opportunity. Let's do really, really well with that opportunity, the way that Evolve IP support works and things like that. And then let's get in there and expand that to increase your wallet share. So that's what you see kind of through the theme of those 4 bullets on the left-hand side is let's go ahead and land these customers. Let's expand them. Let's get them very sticky to you and your organizations, right? The more services that they're taking from you, the less likely they're willing to go somewhere else. And oh, by the way, yeah, Evolve IP was kind of plateauing as far as innovation is concerned. That is now going to ramp right back up with the ATSG merger. So love the story, love the combined energy of the companies. And I'll turn it over to Don from ATSG, Heritage ATSG.
Great, thanks, Pat. And again, thanks everyone for being here. So I'm gonna glance over what I call our 4x4, and I would love to sit down with each and every one of you to talk about in detail kind of what these services really are about, and something that is actually more easy to consume and really communicate with your customers. And so we'll have, we have layers of detail around our capabilities, but also our battle cards, kind of key talking points, key questions, et cetera, that within each of these we call products, if you will. And so that's a little bit what I'm, before I start, I'm excited about is the fact that we have 2 really equals, if you will, in terms of organization from a size perspective. And in some areas we overlap, and that means we've actually strengthened our skill sets in a couple of core areas, but we've also broadened our skill sets for both organizations. And so the talent and experience and the energy from the Evolve IP team combined with the ATSG team really, I think, is even better now than it was yesterday in terms of for your customer, you and your customers. And so the first area that I think that resonates is really in our managed cloud. And the example around that is, as you know, and Evolve IP has always been on the Gartner hype cycle and mentions around desktop as a service. But now with ATSG, who is also a challenger in the Gartner Magic Quadrant, the combined forces, if you will, the skills, experience, the people, the technology, being able to provide optionality from not just from a VMware perspective, but now a Citrix-based solution, but ultimately to the customer, different options for them to help them meet them where they're at, to help them go where they want to get to, really creates a more powerful desktop as a service in the country. And so we really strengthen our capabilities in that area. And so really excited what this merger has really done in that specific area, as well as in our hybrid cloud, our ability not only to help them move to our private cloud or within a public cloud environment, be able to manage that effectively, provide that as a service, if you will. Really exciting what we're able to do now as a combined force. So I think that also kind of could provide more confidence in our ability to deliver not just at our current ICP, but even a larger ICP, different ICP, ideal customer profiles that you manage today. And then also, Evolve IP from a unified communication perspective. Certainly, that's still, that's an area that ATSG did not have, and so really excited about, again, broadening our skill sets. I mentioned how it's strengthened, but also now broaden our skills, and so excited what that can do, and combining with the rest of our services in the near future, I think will help really strengthen that capability. The next piece on the upper right is around the managed network services. As Pat mentioned, really proud of what the team has earned as being a leader in the Gartner Magic Quadrant. And for those who, some of you may know or may not know, but that's something that is not something you just given. It's something that is earned in terms of they do forensic detail research around who you are with your customers, understanding your solution. So it's a pretty intense process, and we've been fortunate enough to every year moved up the leader stack. Especially over the last 3 years. And so really proud of what that team has done. And really it's the unique aspect of managed network services. It's not about a tool. It's about the capability that the team brings in terms of how to manage and effectively deliver a network solution that helps them sleep better at night. It helps them understand what are the highest priority incidents, helps separate signal from noise. I use that term a lot. And both here in the MDR, really helps them use automation to help isolate and automate some of the initial incident response and remediation tactics, and then prioritize that in terms of what needs to move on to other resolver groups. So really focus on the business outcomes and business services versus just alerts. And then you combine that with the capabilities, the contact center that the legacy ATSG had, and now with Evolve IP. Again, strengthening and broadening that skill in that area, and then combining with our managed network services in the future is really going to be another powerful solution to take to market. The third piece that Pat alluded to a little bit is around the managed operations. The DNA of ATSG has always been around managed services, especially from a ITIL tier 1 through tier 3, ITSM, ServiceNow being our platform, really providing a process-oriented approach to how to manage. I call it kind of the plumbing of an organization. I've been both a buyer and a seller of this service as a CIO for several years, but been doing IT outsourcing for most of my career, for 30 years. And really, this is kind of the front line and the back line. So being able to provide that initial response to a customer, the incident management, change management, request management, problem management processes, delivering that, but also not stopping there, because we also can provide and add to that our remote infrastructure management. So basically a NOC, as well as, I think, which is another differentiator, is our depot and field services. So we're not going to just say, well, we found the problem and it's over there. We found the problem, it's an AP in this site, and we can go deploy someone and go resolve it. So an end-to-end solution for our customers, so they don't have to just, again, move it around so that and lose time and efficiency to resolving and remediating the issue. So providing that full service around the operation is really something that we're excited about to deliver to you and your customers. And then lastly, the fourth quadrant is around managed security. So about 2 years ago, we bought a company called Zen Towers, really renowned for their competency around zero trust workshops, road mapping, microsegmentation from an application perspective, being able to quarantine and ensure that they mitigate risk associated from both an application infrastructure perspective, but then also providing an MDR around it. So then we've enhanced that recently through additional resources and partnerships. So we have a partnership with a company called Expel, a leader in the Forrester equivalent of the Magic Quadrant. Really, they provide the underlying benchmark, workbench, to allow us to really triangulate and really ingest multiple telemetry from different tools. Most customers have 50 to 75 tools in their environment. Bring it in, understand, prioritize, again, separate signal from noise, help ensure that we're dealing with the most important issue, and ensuring that we've isolated and work on the remediation aspect in a very efficient manner. So really excited what that can do for you and your customers, and being able to also marry that with the rest of our services if that makes sense. But each of these can stand on its own. So the MDR is again an exciting. Unfortunately for bad actors out there, we have to deal with it, but we're ready to do that with this new service. And then the wrapper around the 4x4 is really what you probably have known Evolve IP and now ATSG from a customer service perspective, but we're very consistent in terms of how we think about and about our customers, and obviously that is critical to you in representing your brand in the market, but also us in terms of how we deliver our operations every day. So again, we can always get better, in my opinion, but we both have a passion towards this. And so marrying client success, but also as customers are looking at things they need to do, we can help customers identify, design, implement solutions. Think about a network upgrade, for example, help them buy the equipment, so give them a full service, and then also manage and monitor and maintain it going forward. So really, all that wrapper provides additional value to your customers. Also, the ability to do this globally. So we have offshore, onshore, or hybrid delivery models that again, meeting our customers where they're at, helping them understand that whether it's cost, whether it's flexibility, whatever it may be, being able to provide 24/7 by always support through a global delivery model also is an advantage I think we bring to the table for you and your customers. So I wanted to glance over that. Certainly, there's layers of detail underneath each one of these, and we would set you up with our product owners and experts to really understand and kind of deep dive into it as you wish, but also be ready to present to your customers in terms of the value proposition, and the effect they could have on their business by using a partner like us and a partner like you to deliver this service. So that's us in a nutshell. A few minutes. I like to leave a lot of time for dialogue. And so that's, we appreciate some feedback, both just general feedback and also any questions you have. So I'll open up the floor here, Zach, for the team. And Gary, if you want to add anything, because I know any additional comments, Gary?
Just a couple of things real quick. I think that's important here because we're trying to do things in the order of their importance. So first things first. Managed network services, the whole MDR and advisory services, enterprise help desk, and Home Depot, and Remote Depot, and Home Depot, and field services. They have all been added to our contracts. So I noticed that Nico from Avant's on the call, which I'm grateful for. So all of the TSDs and the independent contract holders, you've now received actually comp rates. So we're ready to engage and pay on that. The only other thing that I wanted to mention here is two things really. The first is that you will find that each of these four quadrants is mutually exclusive. I know there are a lot of people in the MSP space that will do the tier 1 support for your end users, but you have to buy this solution. We are not going to be like that, right? If you want to use us, again, as Don likes to say, we want to meet our clients where they need to meet us. So it's not going to be, you can buy managed operations, but you have to buy managed security. And the final thing I just want to mention, a lot of names here, whether it's Evolve IP or DIN Cloud or ATSG or Optinix or Zen Towers. Come the end of February, I believe, we will have a brand new brand. A nice, easy to remember five-letter name, but we are rebranding the entire company and all the affiliated companies, and we're excited to share that with you when the time's right. So with that, Zach?
Thanks, Gary. So as of right now, the cameras and microphones are enabled. So if anybody has a question, feel free to use the hand raising function on here. We'll just kind of start going one by one. And if anybody has any questions they'd like to post in the chat, we'll track those as well. But yeah, we'll open up the floor. Anybody that has any questions, fire away.
Hey, Ken, how you doing?
Good, Pat. How are you?
I'm good, thanks. What do you got for us?
Well, thanks for the update. And just looking at kind of the slide of services, and I know you got contact center under management, but you don't show it under cloud. So I'm a little concerned that you're sort of de-emphasizing sort of your CCaaS capability, and I'm trying to figure out what that means.
Go ahead.
I was just going to say that, we still are selling and supporting our platform. We kind of just, I assume for the simplicity of the slide, put that under the UC acronym, but there is no, there's nothing out there that's going to diminish our support of our, Evolve Contact Suite product. What I will say that's very, very interesting, and Don, you can share a bit more about this, is, ATSG brings an enormous amount of Cisco certifications. So they have the ability to support, legacy Cisco call managers. And Don, anything you want to add to that relative
Yeah, no,
to?
so Ken, appreciate the question, because we certainly don't want to misrepresent something. And as Gary said, we have no intent of moving out of the business that we're in. So we'll continue to support our contact center as a service capability. But as he also mentioned, we do have some extended competencies when it comes to, especially around Cisco, and our managed network services. Our platform around there has unique tie-ins into the application layer of Cisco Call Manager and the Cisco contact center applications. So UCCE, PCCE. So really an additional advantage from a contact center perspective that we didn't have if your customers have that type of a kind of on-prem environment. So again, now we have both cloud and premise-based support around contact center. So didn't want to mislead you. So thank you for the question.
Yeah, and I appreciate that. I mean, I don't have too many customers that are still left on Cisco premise.
Yeah.
Most of them are moving cloud, and as you know, Cisco was a little late to the game in figuring out their cloud strategy. So it's good to have that expertise. But I'm more concerned about the current platform and
100%.
Continues to get the investments and the things that needs to, because all of our customers today, I mean, the number one topic is, what are you doing with AI, right? And so trying to figure out, whether that's real or how do we start to deliver on some of those capabilities is really, I think, what's on most of the customers' minds that we talk to.
Gotcha.
Thank you for that, Ken.
Yep, thanks.
What else, guys? I see a lot of friendly faces on this. I know there's questions. We're going to start calling on you.
Well, can I ask one more question?
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. So are you guys going to be integrating like billing and invoice systems and stuff, or are those going to be kept independent?
100%. Yeah. We have a 365-day plan and commitment from the CEO, started in August when we started this process. So we're a couple months into it. And so we'll absolutely be integrated as one. And we have a timeline to do it, Ken. So thank you. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Do have a question in the chat from Robert. Interested in future learning about how your help desk might help back up my existing help desk, whether desktop or server or network.
Yeah, I think let's dive into the details around that in terms of what that could look like in terms of if you're already providing that service and how you can be an augment your team in some way, shape, or form. Again, we'll have a more experience than I want to admit in this area. So certainly let's dive into that detail. Set up a call, Pat, with Robert, and then we'll certainly unpack that.
And Robert, one of the things that's interesting is we have the ability to do tier 1 end user support in addition to our ability to actually support hardware through our managed network services platform. So sometimes when you think about the two of them, there's a little bit of a difference, but we can provide, that admin level support on virtually anything that touches an external network, in addition to being able to deliver tier 1 end user support with field services.
He gave you a thumbs up, Gary.
Oh, well, thank you. What else, Zach?
For those that are old like me, I have Hollywood Squares in front of me, so I'm gonna call on whoever I see first. See Ken smiling. He knows what I'm talking about. So my Hollywood Square, my upper right, I got Jeremy in front of me. So Jeremy, any questions, comments, thoughts?
How about Jeff Sumner? You're always good for a question, Jeff.
Hey, Don, I had to figure out how to get off of
No
off
problem,
of
Jeremy.
mute here. But I think Patty and I used to play Little League together all those many years ago. So
Long
it's good to see
time,
you,
yeah.
kiddo. It's good to see you, my man.
You too.
Question I have, so we're somewhat new to the Evolve IP ATSG offerings. Not that we haven't offered them in the past, but just not through you guys. So we sell
Yeah.
nationwide. Obviously, I sit here in Chicago, but I have clients up in the Northeast. Does that relationship still sit with you and Pat, or do we connect with somebody out on the East Coast to help with that?
Yeah, it'll run through me to start with Jeremy, and I'll pull in resources as required out there, anywhere in the
Okay.
country.
All right, very good. And then with any BAs or anything that we need from a healthcare standpoint, or
Yeah.
Acting on someone's network, do we still carry that as the reseller partner? Do we, with you guys transacting on our behalf, is that on your end? How do you guys handle that?
I'll admit, I don't know how that's been handled with Evolve IP. We are comfortable, and when necessary, we'll have gone through and signed BAAs as necessary. So I don't know how that's happened if we both have to sign it if we're delivering the service, if that's the case, but that's not a problem for us whenever it makes sense.
Yeah,
Okay.
and the one thing that I would add is, remember, the way that we'll continue to be organized the way that we've always been organized, which means that if you're a partner and you're based in Chicago, Pat's going to handle end to end, including executing BAAs. So we don't differentiate. The way that we distribute is based on your location, not on the location of the prospect.
Okay, very
Jeremy,
good.
just another thing to point out, like we've been going through from the Evolve side, we're going through managed network services trainings. And I can tell you that there are large hospital organizations that are leveraging ATSG for managed networks. So definitely in your wheelhouse and kind of where you, the verticals you play.
Very good. Thank you, guys.
Yeah, I mean, I usually use an example for just so folks have context to when everyone has a SolarWinds or some type of tool out there, and this is not about a tool more than it's about the service, right? So, but there is a tool, and it is our own tool that we bring to the table. And what's unique about it, and I talk to people about, is that, there's a lot of IT tools, but not many OT tools. So operational technology, think about a major hospital in Texas. They use our platform not only for the LAN WAN, but also for their NICU unit. So understanding is not, if I can get to it, extract some telemetry, I can put it on a dashboard and understand, hey, that's a high priority environment, obviously NICU and then in hospital, or it could be a refrigeration unit within a restaurant or something on the manufacturing floor. So being able to ingest that because it's our platform and take that in and provide value around it from a incident problem management perspective is another way we differentiate when it comes to managed network services. But heavy, as Pat said, in the healthcare, certainly. It isn't that we're vertically focused. We just happen to have had a lot of success in that area.
So real quick, I did see my friend Jeff Sumner enable his microphone, and then somebody else jumped in. So Jeff, did you have a question that you wanted to run by us? Well, I saw you enable your microphone, but it does not appear like audio's working. So if there's something there, you can throw it into the chat. Otherwise,
This is Ken again. I got another question. Sorry to be a pain.
Not a pain.
Do you guys have a timeline of when you're going to let our customers know about this merger?
I think that's already been communicated.
So Ken, so a couple things. One, and we may not have answered, addressed it properly. So we have done a formal announcement, from about the merger into the public, if you will, in terms of a public announcement. And then, we have done, discussions with, customers legacy ATSG because we were direct primarily. We didn't spend as much time on the channel. So we have some direct, but if there are specific customers who feel, hey, we should do a one-on-one, happy to, any day, all
Yeah.
day, because I think that's important. There are a couple customers that have identified to me that are, while we're through the channel partner, really want to engage with us as with the partner. Absolutely happy to do that, Ken. We
Okay,
need to.
all right. Pat, I'm thinking about 90 degrees. I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah.
I have a call with Gene tomorrow, so
Okay.
I just didn't know how much of this I should share and what, if the format's going to be different. I just, just trying to make sure I don't, I do this the right way. So,
Yeah, absolutely. And we can look at jumping on that call tomorrow, or do you want to set it, the next one you have, right? We can,
yeah, I'll
Participate
just
in
let him
that.
know what's going on, and then I'll figure out what he wants, how he wants
yeah,
to do this. So,
Yeah.
you know.
find out what's best for him and we'll make it work. Yeah.
Yeah, because I do think in his world, a lot of the your expansion of services, potentially, I think there's opportunity there. So,
Yeah.
I mean, he's a big Microsoft Windows guy. So, that doesn't always fit perfectly, but I do think some of the managed services are things that, since they don't have internal, they don't have a centralized IT organization and they don't manage it that way.
Yeah.
I think these things might lend themselves. So something we can
Yeah.
talk about.
Yeah.
Okay.
Perfect.
So,
Thanks,
so
Ken.
listen, everybody, just wanted to, 2:00, we want to definitely start and stop on time. Let me be the first to wish everybody a happy and healthy new year and a wonderful holiday season. And I'm sure Pat, Zach, and Don want to say the same thing, right?
That's right.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Appreciate you all. Thank you.
Yeah. Thanks for
Thanks,
joining,
everybody.
everybody. All the best to you, and look forward to getting together
Yeah.
soon.
All right.
Happy
care.
holidays.
Happy holidays.
Good luck.
Yeah.
Congratulations.